What's up, y'all? Thanks for watching FNTV. My name's Frank, and today we're going to be going over one of, if not the most effective rig to catch fish in saltwater. Now, a little backstory as to how I came to find this rig. About 10 years ago, my family and I had the absolute honor and privilege to go on a charter with the late Captain Patrick Price with the Daymaker Charters. And anybody who's in the Florida fishing scene knows that Pat Price was one of the best anglers that South Florida had to offer. I mean, the guy was just an absolute stud. When we were out there, he dropped lots of knowledge on us, and a lot of techniques, including this rig, which we still use to this day. Now, before we get into it, what makes this rig so great is that it's super versatile and highly effective. You could use this in just about any fishing conditions, and if the conditions change or if you're fishing a different location, you can adjust it to kind of have it tailored to whatever your needs are. You can catch just about any fish with this, and it's none other than the great chicken rig. That's right, the chicken rig. There's also pompano rigs, right, which are very similar to a chicken rig, but the biggest difference is that a pompano rig has a lot of terminal tackle to it. You know, you've got swivels, different color lines, you've got floats like chartreuse and red beads, which can be useful for pompano and like croakers and stuff like that. But you know, one of the biggest rules of fishing that I've learned is that less is more. And a traditional chicken rig doesn't really involve all those beads and floats and stuff like that. It's essentially just a weight at the very bottom and then one or two hooks that are kind of spaced out on the line. But yeah, I mean, this rig is awesome. We catch fish with it everywhere we go. You know, if I've got new people on the boat, the first thing I have them use is the chicken rig, because as long as you're fishing where the fish are, which is another rule of fishing, you're almost guaranteed to hook up, with a chicken rig. What's nice is the weight at the bottom kind of secures the line, and you can have a really good touch and feel for when a fish hits it. So you've got tension from the bottom, and then when you get a hit, you've obviously got tension when you're setting the hook up top. So it's got a really good hookup rate. You can really get a feel for what's going on down there with your bait. And yeah, I mean, it's one of the most versatile, the most effective rigs that we use. And, whether we're going to a new spot and we want to try it out, or if we're the first one on a mark and we want to make sure that we're like guaranteed to pull something up, we always use the chicken rig. When we're hungry and we want to get like lunch or dinner, we want to make sure we catch a fish. We drop a chicken rig down there with some shrimp on it. You could use squid, you can use live bait. And that's what's so nice about it, is that you can hook it up to literally anything and be just as effective anywhere you go. Well, enough talking. Let me show you how to rig it up. Alrighty, we've got all of our ingredients here to make a awesome chicken rig. So the best type of weight to use is probably a pyramid sinker, like this guy here. You really want the weight, obviously, to sit at the bottom. And what's nice about the pyramid sinkers is no matter how it lands, you're gonna have kind of like a flush surface, or it'll kind of dig into the bottom, which is fine. So this is a 1 ounce. We're gonna be trying it out on some bridges inshore, so no need to go too heavy. But again, right, what's great about the chicken rig, you can use however heavy of a weight that you need. So if you're super far offshore with a strong current, maybe 7 or 8 ounces even. If you're near shore, we like to use 1 to 3 ounces, up to like 90 feet of water. So yeah, this is the weight that we're gonna use. Next part is the hooks. I really love owner hooks. These SSW hooks. This is going to be a 2.0. Again, what's great is you can use pretty much any type of bait hook that you want. My buddies, they like to use like the longer shank hooks, almost for panfish. I'm going to be using these two size 2.0 owner hooks, and that's how we're going to be rigging it with. So we'll put those guys right there. And then we also have the line, right? So this is 12-pound fluorocarbon. I like using fluorocarbon because it's like invisible in the water. 12-pound test is pretty light, but again, you want to be as low profile, as incognito as you can with a supernatural appearance. So depending on the conditions where you're fishing, you may want to go with a little bit heavier line. You know, I rig chicken rigs up with, you know, up to 40-pound mono or fluorocarbon if we're fishing heavy structure or for, you know, fish with some bigger teeth. But for this demonstration purpose, we're going to be using the 12-pound fluorocarbon. First things first, make sure you have a generous amount of line. You could even just make this straight into your leader, right? So another thing we learned from Pat Price, the longer the leader, the better. So this is just going to actually be my leader. This is probably like a 4 or 5 foot segment of line here. And I'm just going to attach this directly to my braid. And then at the very end, if we get to it, right? At the very end, we're going to put the weight. So how I like to tie the weights, you can do this however you want, but I use a Palomar knot. And I know it's probably hard to see, but basically what you do is you fold the line in half and then you slide it through the hole of the sinker, like so. And then you're almost gonna make like a regular box knot, right? So I've got the tag end here and the loop end. Make just kind of a regular box knot kind of deal. And then in that loop, you're just gonna pull the sinker through. And then, you know, you probably wanna lubricate this, but this is just for show. And then you just pull it tight, just like that. And cut the tag end off here. So now we've got our weight. So again, depending on the conditions you're fishing and what kind of fish you're targeting, you're gonna wanna space out either, you know, 6 inches to a foot until you get to your first hook. And I'm gonna show you guys how to tie on the hook here in a second. So we've got our sinker here. We've got about maybe 8 to 10 inches of line, and then we're gonna add our first hook. So very similar to how you put the sinker on, how I like to do this just because it's easy. You're gonna do basically another Palomar knot, and you're gonna put it through the hook like so, and then again, kind of tying it like a regular box knot, and then put the hook through the loop. And this is one of the best knots that you can tie. You know, you can use this for your chicken rig, obviously. You can use this for other types of fishing. It's a self-tightening knot, so the harder it pulls, the tighter it'll get. And then another thing that you could do, so you could either just leave it like this so that the hook is just kind of dangling. This works, right? And then you've got your sinker here. What I like to do is actually add another little bit of a loop so that the bait swings a bit freely. So depending on what kind of bait you're using, you know, you may or may not want to go super long. If you go too long, you could get twisted up on the sinker, or you could get it twisted up on the second hook. So you really don't want to go too much with too much line unless you're having a really long chicken rig. I like about, you know, maybe 2 inches, 1.5 inches or so. And then we're just gonna make just a regular loop. We're gonna go through twice, so that's a little bit stronger. Come on. And then we're gonna pull it tight, just like that. That gives us kind of a free swinging hook. And then we've got our sinker down here. And then we're really just gonna repeat that with the second hook. Just like we did for the first hook, we're gonna go up probably a little bit further than we did for the sinker, right? So sinker's maybe 6 to 8 inches. We're probably gonna go up maybe about twice that because we wanna account for the kind of free line that we have for our hook as well after we tie it. Hear the other hook rattling. There we go. So we got that, and now we're gonna go again, maybe an inch and a half, 2 inches. You don't want to go too far, or else the hooks will get caught up on each other, right? So you want to make sure you've got enough room so that the hooks aren't kind of grabbing each other there. And you don't have to do this, right? But it does make it a little bit of a better presentation. Looks a bit more natural in the water. Do 2 loops. And then not quite as long. There we go. That's pretty much it right there. Let me zoom out the camera so that you can see kind of the full rig. So here she is. We've got the sinker, we've got our first hook, and then a little bit further along we have our second hook. Now this whole rig, let me see if I can scoot back a bit on the couch. You know, it's not super big. I don't know if you guys can see the sinker here, right? But it's maybe 2 feet long, and you could throw this anywhere, right? I'm gonna be throwing this under a bridge for some snapper and some grunts. You can get sheep's head on this. Definitely my favorite rig to throw when I'm just trying to catch whatever's down there. Super effective. My favorite bait to use is gonna be shrimp, just because literally everything under the sun that swims eats shrimp. But yeah, enough talking about it. Let me show you how effective it really is. We out here on the kayak. This wasn't gonna be a kayak video, but it's gonna show you how the chicken rig works. I went to the bait store. They were out of live shrimp, but we were able to get these frozen guys. And then I'm also going to throw the sabiki for some live minnows, which I think, oh, yeah, got one on right now. Let's get them in the bucket. And we're off. It's a nice day. Looks like some storms might be rolling in. We ain't scared. All set up. We are in Manalapan, Florida, Lake Worth. Just launched out of Lyman Park. Don't tell anybody my spot. Our goal is the bridge. So let me get a little bit further out and I'll show you what it looks like. There she is. Gonna be making our way over there. We're gonna be going a little bit wider because there's a lot of fishermen on the bank here. So make our way over there. It's the middle of summer, so there's been quite a bit of bait around. I've got a sabiki rig on this rod here, so if we run into any schools of bait, we should be prepared. I've seen a lot of tarpon rolling. Obviously the snook are coming in, the males are coming in to start off the season for spawning. But we're working with the chicken rig today, so let's see what we can get off the bottom. Dude's in the water, trying to get a cast net unstuck, it looks like. That's bold of them. Oh, they got it. Nice. All right, we made it. We're gonna be doing something kind of risky that I don't really recommend. We're actually gonna be kind of posted up in between the wall and the wave break. This is a no wake zone, so hopefully people don't blast through, but you never know. Now these guys are probably good bait too. Ew, they're nasty. Look at that. That's gross. Got our Penn Spin Fisher 4500 with the chicken rig. Let's get her hooked up. For this, what I like to do is pinch off the tail and then thread it through. Just like this. There we go. That's one. This one's brined. Brined shrimp isn't a bad idea. Whoa, we're actually using one of each. And there you have it. It's the magic chicken rig right there. I don't think it's going to take long. It did not take long at all. There you go. Magic of the chicken rig. Obviously he's a little guy, but if there's bigger ones down there, maybe they'll eat. Oh, it's automatic, man. Yellow pork fish, or just a regular pork fish, I guess you call it. Catches them all. It's a fun time. Pretty guy. Nice fish. See if they'll hit this little thing. I'm guessing yes. Yep. Little grunt. Actually, I'm gonna put him on for bait. Might get some bigger stuff. Sorry, buddy. It's a rough world out there, I know. Little mangrove. Give me something bigger. Let's see. Oh, asking you shall receive. Still a little guy, but you can see how it works. I mean, it's like as soon as it hits the bottom, they've got options, and they just go crazy for it. He's obviously not a keeper, but there's some down there. Once you get through the smaller ones, you can get into some bigger fish. But those little guys are just tearing it apart. But it's a good time, you know? It's like, you know, if it's a slow day, or if you're not really catching much, or you're just trying to get out there and have fun, throw a chicken rig on, and I mean, it's gonna be non-stop action. And what I'm doing, I'm just cutting the shrimp in half, just because these are some smaller fish, and just threading it on. Right. Just like that. And dropping her down. Literally not even waiting a second. Ooh. Getting hits. Come on, baby. Give me a keeper snapper. Hey, he's close. He's close. I'm not keeping fish, but he might be a keeper. I don't know if this is a cubera or a mangrove. Let him go. What? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is that a greenie? On the bare hook. That's crazy. That's never happened before. This little greenie hit the hook. Sending him back to where he came from. Like that. Looks a little better. Hey, that's a keeper snapper. Dang, it's a fat one too. That's a nice mangrove. He's fat and chunky. Damn, he's been making a pig of himself. I'm gonna let him go. As you can see, something popped off the sinker. But what's nice about the chicken rig, just tie another one on, tie another hook up here, and we're back in business. But boom, there's the sinker. Boom, there's the hook. We're good to go. That's how we do it. Grunt. Trying to get bait. Might get a porkfish on the sabiki rig. That's cool. Guess when you think about it, sabiki's just a big chicken rig, huh? Rip my rod tip. Little guy. Hey, there we go. Back in there. A lot of little guys down there, but you know, there's big ones mixed in there. Oh, oh, that was a big one. There's another one. Can't stop, won't stop. I bet if I throw this back down, I'll get a hit. Watch. Oh, God. Oh, it's a big one. Big porkfish. Yep. Chicken rig, baby. Can't beat it. I'm telling you. These are protected. You can't eat them, but it's fun. All right, keeper snapper time. Let's see it. Let's see it. Oh, the double header. So that's another fun thing about the chicken rig is every now and then, if you're good, you'll catch 2 at a time. How about that? And these are good eating too. Don't sleep on these white grunt. These are a little bit smaller, but you get into some bigger ones, fry them up, they taste a lot similar to a snapper than you think. Porkfish. Get out of here. Drop it back down. Come on. Where's that big lane snapper at? I see a big lane. Easy, buddy. I'm gonna let you go. Let's drop it down with just a hook. Let's see. Let's do an experiment here. How good is the chicken rig? Oh my God, are you kidding me? Bear hook challenge. Easy. They know it's a chicken rig, that's why they hit it. If it was just a regular hook, they wouldn't hit it. But because they know it's the chicken rig, watch this, we'll do it again, do it again. What'd I tell you? Doubled up on the bear hook. I mean, come on. Why did I even buy shrimp? Why did I even buy shrimp? All right, so we're just gonna, this is getting kind of crazy. I'm not even putting shrimp on. I'm just dropping this down. Give us some jigs. Oh. We're doubled up. Nope. It's a lot of fun, guys. A lot of fun. It's a good rig. So obviously I don't need to use bait, but I bought all the shrimp, so I might as well. I'm just gonna use them whole in the hopes to get something a little bit bigger to bite on the line here. Nope. Does not take long. They're just stacked up down there. All right, buddy. What are you doing? You're all upside down. Come on, big boy. Show yourself. Oh. Yeah, that's it right there. Run. Just hitting the bare hook. Another one. Forgot to record it, but another mangrove snapper. I'm getting kind of tired of this, to be honest with you. I catching so many fish. Damn. Fat little snapper. That's it, boys. It's the chicken rig for you. Well, hopefully I proved a point. I know those fish were smaller, but just imagine it to scale, right? You put some bigger baits down and some deeper water and you're gonna have yourself a good day of fishing, that's for sure. That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, feel free to leave a comment. If you've used the chicken rig, leave a comment and let us know what you've caught before. And that's pretty much it. You stay classy. Come on. There we go. Oh, it came off. I was chasing it. Oh, there we go. These hooks are small. What do we got here? Hey. What a bully. Oh, there we go. Love that.